Assalamu alaikum, كيف حالكم? Good evening. This is Majid Al Suleimany speaking to you from Muscat, Sultanate of Oman. I want to say a few words concerning my book, my coming book, Return to Lost Paradise, the Untold Story of Zanzibar, which is based mainly on my holidays that I took in November 2019, two years ago, and also based on what do you call it? So many articles in the media, and also contributions from others, some who have preferred to remain anonymous, and for their own personal reasons, which I respect. Anyway, the intention of writing this book is actually originally when I started writing this book, I'll be honest with you, I wanted to be very anti as much as possible, and to show that this revolution which came resulted in thousands and thousands of innocent lives. What do you call it? Of mainly Arabs and Asians, and mainly Omanis, Yemenis, and others, and it resulted in a massive exit of people from Zanzibar to other parts of Tanzania, to Kenya, to UAE, to Saudi Arabia, and Emirates, Dubai especially. Unfortunately, at that time we had a ruler who was not in support of returning monies to come. So it was only after 1970 when His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Said Al Rahma came to power and allowed Omanis to return. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Allah Rahma, Allah give him Jannat al-Firdaus, and remove the punishment of grave from him, and also rest in peace in this world and the next, inshallah, ya Rabbil Alamin. Ala kul hal. That was my original intention. I wanted to be as anti as possible, to be, if you want to say, one-sided. And then after reading so many articles and finding out a lot of things, and also finding out that some of the ideas and conception I had were all one-sided, or mainly one-sided, or there were other factors that needed to be looked into. Okay, and I moved from that angle to middle line angle, but in the end, my intention is that this book should be a healing book, especially for the people in Zanzibar, yani Unguja, Pemba, especially. Okay, and to heal and seal peace, harmony, coexistence, and be together as one people, and bring the, what do you call it, the Zanzibar diaspora to look again into coming, not necessarily coming, but to be more contributory towards Zanzibar and its development, and to remove this hatred, which is going to be a very difficult task. This hatred, this jealousy, this acronym, what do you call it, between people who are supposed to be Muslims, majority are Muslims, and to reconcile. That is the main target of my book. And when you look at names like Abeid Aman Karume, Kasim Hanga, Othman Sharif, Abdurrahman Babu, and so many others, Hassan Nasr Moyo, and all these all names are Muslims. So why should Muslims not sit together and come to a compromise? And also try to point out the mistakes that were done, which could have been avoided, which would most probably would have resulted in no revolution, or maybe what I would have thought was most constructive was to have a joint national government, representatives from the winning party, and also to include those who lost. It's the same thing that was done with Mahem Malim Saif when he was taken in as vice president. So that thought, but unfortunately, we had a main thorn in the flesh at the time, and that was the usual British people and Americans, Israelis divided and rule, and were jealous. And we had also mainlanders in Tanzania, like people well known, like Julius Kambarage Nyerere, Oscar Kambona, and others. And people who are put in the position of terrorizing others, like what is called is, and other people like that, So a lot of mistakes have been done by both sides that could have been avoided. And what do you call it? I remember now this that John Okello, may he fry in hell. Anyway, and burn in hell, because he was the one teaching people to kill Wawenia or Arabu, Wawenia or Hindi or Wawenia. Allah, and he got a terrible death. And inshallah, he will burn in hell there also, because people like him who have no relationship at all with the Zanzibar caused this Zanzibar, or contributed greatly in a disadvantaged way to the Zanzibar revolution. So my book, in conclusion, wants to try to heal. It is a healing book. Okay, although mistakes that were made of mass ethnic cleansing and killing of innocent people. I remember two of my classmates. One was, his name was Said Nasser. I used to joke him that he's my father. And another one was Hamid Thenian. They were taken out from the bus and killed, hacked to death, while the other spectators looked on. So there was a lot of this, and so many cases. When we were in Betanga Mvimbiane, the guy who was shot and killed was not even an Arab. He was a black African. Okay, they shot at these people shot at anything that moved. Yeah, and he was lying, screaming. Nobody dared to go out and help him. He was a Ngazija, a Komoro guy. And then there were our neighbors, they were entered, some were raped, and we could hear screams of, can you liam mtoto wangu, can you liam mtoto wangu? He killed my daughter, he killed my child. Hasbi Allah wa ni'matul wakil. Alhamdulillah Rabbil. I have to stop this before the video reaches 10 minutes. Okay, thank you very much. Shukran jazil. So bottom line, my book will try to heal. Thank you.